Guys, wait a minute. I'll just set up the screen which I have to show. So the last unit which we are starting now is omnichannel marketing for brand commitment. Now these are the various technique we can say. Now we have learned the words brand commitment, brand engagement, and all. So as per the now see these brand commitment or brand affinity or let's say brand attractions, these are all our objectives. Now what we have to achieve, what the marketer intends to, क्या करना चाहता है. So based on that our strategies are differing, and that is what we are learning. So today's topic of discussion is omni-channel marketing for brand commitment. Now what do we mean by omni-channel? Let us see that first. What is omni-channel marketing? Now, it is the practice of integrating multiple channels to create a seamless and consistent customer experience. Now, we have to give away something to our customers. Now, here giving away means is we are giving away a kind of experience. Now, that experience could be shopping experience or a dining experience, or just normally I'm visiting and I'm just browsing through. उसको हम online, if we are present online and we have to give away this experience of shopping, then this is called as web rooming. So how you navigate, how easily you find whatever you want, how easily you can see the products, or how nicely the pictures are being um, put up. So this is called as web rooming. So again, this is a kind of experience which you want to give away when your customers are present online. So you want to give away something. So this giving away something should be seamless and consistent. So seamless and consistent meaning it should be a continuous process. It's not like only for sale the same over again the website क्या बोलते हैं, the website lost its look and feel. So it's not like that. So this continuous and seamless and consistent experience, customer experience, which you have to give away. So you integrate the multiple channels. Those channels could be online channels as well as offline channels. So you improve on your sales team, you give away some kind of special training to your sales team, you improve your website, you improve your payment gateways, you improve your deliveries. So you are actually integrating multiple channels so that this experience management, customer experience becomes a seamless process. So this is roughly what we say. The efforts which we put in here are called as omni-channel marketing. This requires organization to break silos and unify their goals and strategies. Now, if I have to achieve this seamless customer experience, when I have to create, I need to require to break these channel silos. Channel silos मतलब जो boundaries होती है when we are not talking anything about our channels, marketing channels, online channels, offline channels. So whatever barriers are associated with these, when we break those barriers and we unify their goals and strategies, we try to combine their goals and strategies together, we are actually practicing omni-channel marketing. Now, example here given is of Walmart. Now, what happened in case of Walmart? They initially saw it as a response to the growing presence of e-commerce. But now they see integrating their online and offline retail channels as a major growth opportunity. So initially Walmart, uh, whatever activities they were doing, they saw that it is due to the response of growing presence of e-commerce. So they started coming up with more offers in order to fight the e-commerce websites. But slowly and steadily now they are integrating their online and offline retail channels as a major growth opportunity. Sometimes it happens that if a retailer is only present offline, we usually demand why not it is present online. So it becomes easier. I don't have to visit the shop and wait. Whereas sometimes it happens that if the retailer is only present online, we require that why doesn't he open a shop? It becomes easier. Sometimes, just browsing doesn't give me the feel. So it's better that I go there, look at their collection and do the shopping. So we have this mentality of the one who is present online asking for it to be present offline and vice versa. So that this is how the opportunities are there. Some are comfortable over online, some are not comfortable over offline. So to meet both the set of these customers, usually now the trend is example of Walmart, which is given here, that the company saw that there is a huge growth opportunity if I am present online as well as offline. So this is what it is. So if I have to practice this omni-channel marketing, how it goes? To develop a good omni-channel marketing strategy, marketers need to map all possible touch points and channels. Now, what it says, what do we mean by touch points and what do we mean by channels? So there is this diagram. So before this diagram, let us understand something. Now, what we are learning here is omni-channel marketing. So we are integrating all the channels, online channels as well as offline channels. Channels meaning how you are meeting your customers. So this is called as omni-channel marketing. Now to develop good omni-channel marketing or to practice this omni-channel marketing, what marketers need to do? So this first step is what? Map all possible touch points and channels across the customer path. So let us understand this diagram. So when I have to start practicing this omni-channel marketing, I need to map all the possible touch points. So यहाँ पे दो चीजें we have to understand, touch points and channels. So what are touch points? If you look at the extreme left hand table, here the explanation is given for touch point and channel. So every direct and indirect customer interaction with brand and or other customers in relation to the brand throughout the customer path. So what we have to remember here, touch point is every direct and indirect customer interaction. So direct customer interaction could be when you talk to your customer over phone or when you meet your customer personally. So that becomes a direct interaction. Whereas indirect, you write an email to him and maybe after a few days he replies to you, again you send him something, so that becomes indirect. Or you post something on social media, now though it is directed towards your intended customers but it is general to all, so indirectly you are addressing. So direct and indirect customer interactions, again this interaction could be online or offline. So online interaction would be like I said, you come up something on Instagram, you put a story on Instagram where your customers review, put their or share their experiences, or maybe you have a YouTube channel where customers give their reviews like that. So it becomes an online way of customer interaction. Offline, again, a salesperson, a walk-in customer which is being handled by a salesperson with a brand. So this interaction could be with brand or with a customer. So this is our touch point. This touch point could be online customers or offline customers with a brand or with customers. Maybe there is this direct interaction or there is this indirect customer interaction. So this is touch point. Understand. And then what is this channel? Channel means online or offline. online or offline intermediaries use to communicate. So intermediaries as in the, we can say partners, or let's say the um, variables. So what online intermediaries you are using to communicate? So maybe the website, through my blog, through my channel, through WhatsApp group. So this becomes an online intermediary which I am using to communicate to my customers. Offline channel would be through retailers, through wholesalers, through shopkeepers, or let's see through banner, through advertisement, through print media, through television, through radio. So these channels become my offline channel. So this is how I am communicating with my customer, and those customers could be direct or indirect. uh, Maybe I'm communicating with them on via online or offline, with relation to a particular brand or generally to my customers. So this is about touch points and channels. All right. Now what we have to see in this touch points and channel, very important point, because this is what forms the base for it, that when I have to contact my customers, how I am doing it. Fine. So understand uh, how this mapping of touch points and channels happen. So we have understood what the touch point is, we have understood what the channel is. Now what happens in case of awareness? If you can look at the diagram, in case of awareness, in first stage, the customer touch point include, now we have to make our customer aware. So this touch point can include learning about product. So you make your customers learn about product. So जैसे कि if you are introducing any insurance policy, so you through your communication, through your touch point, maybe that offline touch point, TV commercial पे, when you have to make your customers aware about such product, you try to come up with a message which will impose on us why it is important to have a insurance policy. Understand? So we are creating an awareness. So this is our awareness stage. Whereas in case of act stage, you see the touch points could be touch points and channels. Sorry, the touch point could be um, purchasing a product. So you are um, telling your customers that you can, how you can purchase, how you can use, how you can service. So this is how this fourth stage of act and touch points are related. This is how you are communicating to your customers about it. Now in case of channels, what we have seen, that is online or offline intermediaries used by customers to interact with the brands. So there are usually two types of channels in case of interaction. That could be communication channel and sales channel. Now communication channel, that could be any channel which facilitates transmission. Communication channel could include any channel that facilitates the transmission of information or content, like you have television or you have print media or social media. All right. Then on the other hand, when you have sales channel, it includes channels that facilitate transactions. Sales channel जहाँ पे transactions हो रहे, where the transactions are taking place. So those channels could be the retail outlet, or maybe the e-commerce websites, Amazon or Flipkart, where actually sales is taking place, though it is online, but sales is taking place. Then we have telesales agents. You get a call from Bajaj Finserv where they are trying to sell um, loan to you. Do you have requirement based on your score and based on your past history? Maybe 5 lakh ka loan can be approved, like that. So these are all telesales agents. So sales in this way can happen over online or offline. Fine. So what we have seen, how the touch points are in relation to the stages. awareness, appeal, ask, and act. Similarly, we saw the discussion related to the channel. So what we have to understand here is that a touch point may involve one or more channel. What touch point? Act, awareness, like that. So it can have to touch these stages, or to need to have act or make the customer aware about it. It can happen at two or more, one or more channel. For instance, I may learn about a product from multiple sources. Maybe I see a television ad. At the same time, I see um, maybe the same ad which is being put up on Google. When I'm searching something, I can find the banner of it present on Google. So this touch point is involving one or more such channels. So for marketer, what we need to understand here is that more touch points and channels lead to more market coverage for the brand. So if we are only using one set of touch point and one set of channel, your reach will be limited. If जैसे हमने बोला, if I am present only online, then only online customers would be my customers, and I am losing major chunk of customers who are present or who do or who prefer rather offline one, and vice versa. So what we have to understand is that many touch points and many channels lead to more market coverage. Apparel brand Biba. Now Biba is present online as well as offline. They have their stores also. So जो online मानो अगर X people are visiting and purchasing Biba, when I have offline store as well, so that naturally becomes X plus Y. So X plus Y is always more than X. So that is why more touch points, more channels, more touch points and channels lead to more market coverage. But it also means complexity of managing, taking care of, managing these resources, managing this channel. So we have to remember this thing when we talk about more channels and more touch points, meaning it also comes up with more complexity involved. Second step is identify the most critical touch points and channels. So we after mapping the touch points, we need to now identify the critical points and channels, and then we need to improve and integrate the most critical touch points and channels. So first we have to map, then we have to identify इसमें से critical touch points and channels कौन से हैं. Now what do we mean by critical touch points and channels? Critical as in important ones. So any customer can choose different combination of touch points across multiple channels in a certain sequence. So I need to identify the critical most out of it. For example, if I have to buy something, let's say क्या बोल सकते हैं, if I have to buy, for example, headphones. Now, probably headphones is such a commodity that usually I search it online, right? But let's say if I have to buy an automobile, for example. Now, what happens? There are a number of ways of buying this particular automobile. So let's imagine a customer buying an automobile, let's say a car. I may see an online banner advertisement. जैसे कि I'm searching something, a pop-up window comes or a banner comes with the online ad. Now somehow it appeals to me. Maybe I was thinking of purchasing something, purchasing an automobile. This ad I see, and it gets clicked to me. So I appeal, that ad appeals to me. So what happens? After seeing an online banner of it, I click on that ad, on that banner, and I get landed on the content website of that particular um, company, and I learn more about the car, specifications, payment terms, color, many things, how the delivery, how the performance, the reviews. I get to learn more about the car. So what happens? Uh, Somehow after reading, I am okay with everything. I go next step further and I schedule a test drive. So I go for the test drive. What information I already had, test drive gives me a real feel of how it is, and I decide to buy after completing this process. So this is one path, or let's say this is one instance of buying a car. Second scenario would be, I see an advertisement on television. Again, that ad appeals to me. So television ad at the end gives me a toll free number. So contact a number of the call center. So I call on that number. I ask whatever information I wanted to ask. I schedule a test drive, or let's say I'll omit that asking part. So when I see an advertisement on TV, I call the call center, and then I fix um this test drive schedule with the help of call center. I go to the designated dealer of that particular car and I go for test drive. I'm satisfied with it, and then I decide to buy after doing it. So there could be many such alternatives for customers for buying products. Some may choose this, some may even introduce something new here. So what as a marketer we have to understand here is that we need to identify such critical touch points, and then we need to find the channels as well. Now, यहाँ पे what we have to remember is the principle. There is this principle of a principle of Pareto, P-A-R-E-T. Now, what this principle says that top 20% of all the possible scenarios, 20%. Now we have to focus on this top 20% of the possible scenario. So possible scenario मतलब क्या path हो सकता है? If a customer wants to buy something, what could be the path? तो जो सिनेरियो हमने जस्ट नाउ डिस्कस किए थे, दैट कुड बी द वे ऑफ बाइंग अ प्रोडक्ट. So similarly, Pareto principle tells us that identify 20% possible scenarios of such types जो कि critical है, जो कि important है. First path we discovered, second path we discovered, third path we discovered, but then afterwards uh, we found that there is no fourth path as such, because all these three paths are only there which are covering the most of the scene. Now, principal say, tells us that out of these three or let's say five scenarios, understand the 20% of the scenarios which will be followed by 80% of the customer. मतलब basically जो कि पॉपुलर है, जो कि फेमस है, जो कि मोस्ट फिजिबल पाथ, इसमें से कौन से हैं जो मैक्सिमम नंबर ऑफ कस्टमर्स फॉलो कर सकते हैं. मे बी दैट कुड बी वाया ऑनलाइन टू ऑफलाइन, और इट कुड बी ऑनलाइन टू ऑनलाइन ओनली, or it could be online somewhere, offline again online. So we need to understand the critical path, because that 20% of the possible scenario is what we have to understand, which will be followed by 80%. So after understanding or after identifying the critical touch point and channel, then we need to improve and integrate most critical touch point and channel. So after identifying which one is of most importance, then we need to figure out how to improve and integrate the critical touch points. Um, Maybe companies can create structure that can operationalize the strategy. Now I have to improve and integrate these critical touch points and channels. Now iske liye I need to have my organizational setup like that, or organizational structure, so that we can convert this thing into reality. If I have to improve, I need to have support of my people. who are working with me. So I need to make some kind of special organization structure here. So this is how we need to adapt. कि अगर मुझे improve करना है, if I have to come up with something, if I have to integrate something, this is how we have to work. So these are the steps of omni channel marketing. कि पहले समझो कि मैं all the possible touch points and channels across the customer path. How can I reach to my customers? So after mapping, then we need to identify इसमें से most critical या बोल सकते हैं मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट टच पॉइंट या चैनल कौन सा था. सो आफ्टर आइडेंटिफाइंग दैट, देन वी कैन improve and integrate the critical ones. Getting it? Then comes integrating the best of online and offline channel. Now, why we need to integrate online and offline channel? What is the reason? Now what happens? Hopping from one channel to another for continuous, that is seamless and consistent performance, is common practice. This is our usual behavior, consumer behavior, we can say. If I have to buy something, now that day I wanted to order a racket, badminton racket. Now for this badminton racket, maybe 5 years or 7 years back, the only option which was available was just visiting a shop and uh, just getting the available one or whatever you wanted to go for. जैसे Yonex का कोई particular hair design, so I'll ask for it, I'll visit a shop, I'll ask for it. If it is not available, I'll tell the shopkeeper that order it for me, this is the some amount, so that my order is fixed. Order it for me. Once the order is there, once you get the delivery of that particular racket, just give me a call, I'll come and pick it up. Now what is the scenario? I can check it what Amazon or Flipkart gives me the deal. So after knowing the prices, maybe I can check with a local store or maybe a sports store which is there near to my place. I can compare the prices, and if it is available at a discounted rate online, maybe I'll go for online payment. Or maybe if I have to find how it will really look, weight जितना बोल रहा है LBS में उतना real है क्या, I can check it offline and maybe I can come back again online and I can place the order. So hopping from this channel to channel, one channel to another, is a common practice nowadays. So in order to achieve, marketers should aim to combine the best of both worlds. So when I have to increase my base of customers, when I have to serve maximum customers, I should aim to combine best of both worlds. अभी ऑनलाइन के फायदे क्या होते हैं, ऑफलाइन के फायदे क्या होते हैं? ऑनलाइन गिव्स यू क्या बोल सकते हैं, दी ऑनलाइन गिव्स यू मोर इंफॉर्मेशन. You can read reviews, you can read what my competitors are up to, what they are offering. So online becomes more informative. Offline gives you the real look and feel. So you can achieve, or you can combine this best of both the worlds, and you can come up with the omni-channel marketing strategy. Now, to effectively do this, marketers should focus on all the touch points and channels. So to get this best of both worlds, knowledge about best of both worlds, marketers should focus on all the touch points. कहाँ से क्या क्या, how can from awareness to actually act or purchase तक मैं कैसे लेके जा सकती हूँ. So I need to focus on all the touch points and all the channels. Communication channels होते हैं and sales channels. Communication channels online, offline. Sales channels जो कि usual sales channels होते हैं. So this is how I can take care of all the communication or all the channels online and offline, various touch points online and offline, so that I can serve my customers, maximum of my customers. So I cannot leave the people who are only doing online shopping, or I can simply leave these people who only believe to shop offline. So this is what omni-channel marketing is all about. then we are starting with engagement marketing. Engagement marketing, it is converting first time buyers into loyal advocates. Now, why we are doing engagement marketing? So some part of CRM we are going to study here. So when we are converting the buyers, first time buyers into loyal customers, this entire activity is called as engagement marketing. There are essentially three techniques to increase engagement in digital era. So in today's scenario, when we have to practice this engagement marketing, we have got essentially three techniques. How can I do this? How can I practice converting the first time buyers into loyal advocates? Advocates meaning who tell, let's say, good things about you, or who promote the brand. So loyal advocates. So these three techniques are mobile application of social. So via these three ways, I can rather convert more and more first time buyers into loyal advocates. So mobile applications, what is there in mobile application? So these smartphones have arguably become the best channels for engaging customers. Yeah, we can understand. Now, a study tells us that an American on an average, in a single day, checks his phone 46 to 47 times. हाँ, 24 घंटों में इतने बार an American on an average checks out his phone. So we can understand our affinity towards our phone. So nowadays our phone is everything for us. We have all our information, information as in the bank details and other things. We have our e-wallet also there on our mobile phone. So our mobile phone is not a device, but it carries more than that. So they have arguably become the best channel for engaging customers. So now when an American is using his phone 46 times a day for various reasons. So this is our affinity. This is our closeness towards our belonging. So that has to be the best channel for, or channel as in the medium. That has to be the best medium for engaging our customers. It becomes imperative for marketers to reach out to and engage customers through smartphones apps. So that is why it becomes necessary, imperative for marketers to engage the customers through mobile phone applications. We all are using smartphones, so anything on smartphone happens through applications, mobile applications. So that becomes imperative for the marketers to go for such apps. Top 100 brands use mobile apps to engage customers, as these apps have one or more uses. Now, why top 100 brands are using mobile applications? Obviously for engaging the customers, but they have got something more than that. That app can be launched as media for content, self-service channels to access customer information and make transactions, integrated into core product or service experience. Abhi isme an app can be launched as media for content. Now I'm using this application, any mobile application, I'm launching this mobile application as media for content. Now यहाँ पे content क्या हो सकता है? Maybe for a video I can show something, or maybe in case of games I'm using this. What I mean content here is, so app I'm launching as media for this content. Few years back, this Pokemon Go application was being installed. Now we all have seen how that Pokemon Go was. You have to collect something, so you have to, with the help of your mobile phones, I don't recollect now, but I have seen many youngsters, they are just um, traveling to many locations, and they were searching something. So this is how I can launch, this is how I can make use of mobile applications for doing such activities, for creating videos, or maybe creating games, or putting up these games as well. Another example is, or another way could be, self-service channels to access customer information or make transaction. जैसे कि दिस बैंक्स के जो भी जितने एप्स होते हैं, आई बैंक है, या फिर HDFC का भी कुछ ना कुछ जरूर होगा, आई मोबाइल होता है, आई मोबाइल एप्लीकेशन बाय बैंक, where now these applications are used by customers as self-service channels to access the information or to make transactions. So if I have to transfer some money, or maybe if I have to create online RD account or PPF account, many such information, simply for money transactions, I need to, I have to, or rather I can make use of these mobile application. And then integrating the core product or service experience. Integrated into core product or service experience. Now, core product or service experience would be जैसे कि iTunes. Now for Apple phones, if I have to go for some specific iTunes, or exclusive iTunes, I can only do it with the from these tunes, iTunes. I cannot simply download it from anywhere. I have to visit these iTunes, and only then I can do this. So in case of core products or service experience, this is how I can integrate the application, mobile application. So for these reasons, top 10 brands are using mobile applications so that the customers are engaged with them. With these user cases, customers can have hassle-free interactions with brands. So if any of these needs, for customers के अगर ये तीनों में से कोई भी need है, that can be fulfilled with the help of application, and that is why we can see that more and more customers have hassle-free interaction with the brand. पूछते हैं ना, nowadays we ask, do you have an application? जैसे कि if you visit a bank, any of the branch, for such transactions, abhi jaise money, if I have to withdraw money, nowadays very few people, a younger generation, so they definitely don't go to bank. We have got facility jaise ki ATM is always there, and when we have to withdraw, meaning we have to put it somewhere, so we can simply do that online transactions. So you and me, people like you and me, we don't go to bank for such reasons. We rarely go. So if we happen to go, and if that is our requirement, the officials at the branch, they can always tell us, why don't you make use of so and so application of our bank? All these things are being taken care of. Simple request, checkbook अगर issue करवाना है, या फिर any of such complaints, or any of these requirements are there, you can simply do it with the help of the application. No need to come up to us. So that is why it is the preferred mode. Now, to develop a good mobile application, marketers must go through following steps. अगर मुझे एक अच्छा mobile application, if I have to develop, I need to follow few of these steps. What those steps are? Determine the use cases, identify customer frustration points, and figure out how an application can solve the problem. So determine the use cases. जैसे कि L'Oreal का है. Suppose I now क्या बोल सकते हैं, companies like L'Oreal and all, they found that maybe biggest hurdle in buying the cosmetics online is that I cannot imagine, the customers, they can't imagine how the product will look on them. So it really becomes difficult for me to assume how it will really look on me. Will it suit me or not? So they developed, such companies, L'Oreal for example, developed an augmented reality app called Makeup Genius. So it utilizes your smartphone camera as virtual mirror, thereby allows the customers to experiment with L'Oreal products. So this is how the applications are converting the opportunities. So इसके लिए, that is what we are learning here, is that when you have to make your application, mobile application, you have to develop your mobile application. This is what the steps we have to follow. So we need to identify the cases, use cases. After identifying, then design the key functionalities and user interface. This is related to the application, key functionalities and user interfaces. After determining user cases, जो हमने पहले के example में, which we just now saw, that क्या है use cases here is that customers they don't imagine how the product will look on them. Will the product suit them or not? So with the help of this augmented reality, app can take care of it. So after determining use cases, key functionalities need to be designed. Key functionalities need to be designed. Major trend in mobile application is use of SOLOMO, that is social, location, and mobile. Now this is related to the key functionalities. Now what happens? I'm making use of social media here, या फिर app पे भी, so that I can take care of my customers. कैसे? Now taking care of customers meaning sometimes handling customers, rather customer complaints, and sometimes promoting something to my customers. So different objectives. Customer complaints handle करने के लिए I have different account. Let's say I have different provision. Let's say on my app, to handle customer complaints, please write so and so at so and so. So I have a different way of handling customers, and I have a different way of my product. So this is how the key functionalities need to be designed. So इसके लिए this so, low, and mo trend is there in use in case of mobile applications. Ensuring user face is usable even by people who are not accustomed to using the applications. Now इसके लिए क्या हम बोल सकते हैं? User interface is how you look at your product, the way, so that mobile screen becomes my interface. So if this is my way of interaction, simplicity of the app is the key here. जैसे कि हम usually we say that when we change our mobile phones, it takes time for us to get adjusted to the new one. Now why this is so? Because the interface, user interface, is, if it is way different than your earlier phone, then it will definitely add to the frustration. That is why the simplicity of the app is key here. So that is why we need to ensure that the interface is usable even by people who are not accustomed to using applications. It should be simpler. It should be easier for those who are not using it. It should be so intuitive that the users never have to learn how to use it. So if I purchase this particular phone, I don't have, it should not happen that I visit or I Google and I find out how to use so and so model by so and so company. It should be that simple. So simple thing we are discussing here. So when we are coming up with good mobile application, we need to remember these things. All right. So this is how we are designing our key functionalities and user interface. Then comes developing the backend integration. Very important step. Marketers need to determine how to integrate with the other support elements that customers do not pay attention, but which are critical to their experience. जैसे कि ये जो पेमेंट गेटवेज होते हैं, तो पेमेंट गेटवेज मतलब जब when we make bill online, So how that experience is at the back end, how those things are integrated. So once the transaction is over, immediately I should get a message from my bank जहाँ से डेबिट हुआ है that amount. At the same time, I also get a message from the service provider जहाँ पे मैं ये expense कर रही हूँ, that so and so, thank you for the payment of so and so. So this is what I expect as a consumer here. So accordingly, I need to develop this backend integration, integrating with bank, and immediately sending the SMS alert or basically SMS alert to the customers. Again, interaction with the service provider and instantly sending the notification regarding the payment. This integration typically involves back office, physical outlets, other media channels, and third-party partners. So third-party partner, bank can be a third-party partner here, because the transaction can only take place when you have an account with the bank and bank allows you to make this transaction. Internet connectivity, it could be the third party partner, but without that connectivity, the transaction cannot take place. So this is how we should think. Providing solutions with social CRM. Abhi, we have seen CRM. So what we have learned in CRM becomes the traditional CRM. Now what we have to understand here, social CRM, difference is that we'll see the difference. It has become imperative for brands to connect with the customers through social media. Now social CRM is shift from traditional CRM. क्या shift है? In social CRM, customer initiates the communication with inbound inquiries through social media. So in traditional CRM, it is the companies who initiate this communication to the customers by way of calling them and asking, are you happy with our products and all. So whereas in case of social CRM, it is the customer who initiates the communication with inbound inquiries. Matlab he calls up, he initiates, and maybe he inquires through social media. So I write my comment, I write my whatever doubts I have to the company, to the social media options available. And this is how I initiate, and this is how this process of retention begins. And that is the biggest difference in case of traditional and a social CRM. The social CRM knows no business hours and can rarely be automated with instant and round the clock customer response. So when I'm communicating as a customer, just give me 2 minutes, we'll finish with the session. So I'm not initiating, the company is not initiating, and the medium here is social platforms. So through email or Twitter or Facebook or Instagram or LinkedIn. So these are my options available to get connected to my customers. There are no business hours. I can anytime, comment on it or leave my comment, and it's an automated and round the clock customer response is expected. So that is the biggest difference. Listening to the voice of customers. Now why we are using social CRM for this thing. Listening to the voice of customers. Social listening we have learned, involving brands in general conversation and handling complaints. So these are the options, or these are the cases of social CRM. Now why we are using it. Listening to the voice of the customers, then only we can appropriately make changes at the back end. Involving brands in general conversation and handling complaints. I'm making use of social CRM for these two reasons as well. I guess we'll finish with this social CRM part we have just now finished. Gamification is what is remaining, which will be covered in tomorrow's class. So basically, social media or mobile applications and gamifications, these are the platforms which are available to the marketers to reach to the customers who are present online. And these options are available round the clock. if we make our applications or these options stronger, we can grab maximum of our customers share of wallet. So we are stopping our session here today. We'll continue with the session, with the discussion tomorrow. Huh? All right, bye bye.